Hello students, myself Dr. Harish Kumar N, working as Associate Professor in Department of Information Science and Engineering. So today I am going to discuss about the introduction to Python programming and the structure of Python program, the basic structure of Python program. So let us see the first topic, the introduction to Python programming. So Python, as we are aware of that, Python is a high-level programming language and it is interpreted programming language and also general purpose programming language. Okay, and it is widely used because of its code reusability. And also the Python programming was founded in year 1991 by a developer called Guido van Rossum. And Python supports multiple programming paradigms, including structured programming and also it allows object-oriented programming as well as the functional programming paradigms. And also it is described as the batteries included because it has a wide variety of standard libraries available, so that those libraries can be used for instead of writing the functions or classes, we can directly make use of those standard library functions available. That's why we call it as a batteries included programming language. So currently the latest version of the Python what is available is right now it is 13.14, which was launched October 2025. So now let us go to the next session, that is structure of Python program. So basically if you take any programming language, it will have a structure. Like when you go for C programming, it has its own structure. Similarly for Python programming also, we have a definite structure we need to follow whenever you write a Python program. So let us see the basic or general the structure of a Python program, what it consists. So first we have the comments and the documentation section, and followed with the import statements. Then we have the variable declarations or initializations which has to be done for a particular program, followed with the functions and classes. Suppose if your function needs any, if your program needs any classes or functions, so we can make use of that and we can write our own functions. And also we'll be having a main program, so where the program will start execution from the main block. So these are the major functional units of a Python program. Let us see one by one now. So coming to the very first component, that is the comments and documentation section. So what is the purpose of comment section is, so usually we used to describe the code for readability. Whenever we are writing the code, we want to describe what is that particular line or what is the code about that. So we can use the comment lines and we can make sure that the user will come to know what is the purpose of writing that particular code, that where you can use the comments line. So we can broadly classify these comments into two types. So one is a line comment and multi-line comments. So the line comments are denoted with the hash symbol and the multi-line comments are quoted in multi-string. These are the syntax how we can use the comments. Okay, for example, so here we are given some two examples there. So printf hello world, this is a statement, executable line, whereas we have a statement called this is a comment. So and we have put a hashtag here in front of that. This shows that whenever we run the program, this comment lines will not execute. This is only for the user to just gives the idea about user, like what the particular line is going to execute or something like that. So suppose even we can go for multi-line comments by putting multiple hashtags in for each line. And there is also another way how we can write is by use of multi-strings, that is enclosed in the three double quotes. We can use these three double quotes and we can enclose a particular paragraph in a like a multi-line comment. So we can, this is an example like how we can write a multi-line comment. So where three opening brackets we have and similarly we have three closing quotes. So anything inside that, so that will be a comment line and it will not be executed when you run the program. So going for the next session, so we have the import statements. So import statements, it begins with the keyword called import. Okay, so all any like as we discussed, any header built-in functions are available. So they're included in the standard libraries. So if we want to use that, we need to import those statements or import those functions into our program. So for that we have to use the import statements, and import is the keyword what we have to use. Okay, and that's what we can include the external modules or certain libraries available already in the Python. For example, so here we have used import math. This shows that, so we have a library called math where all mathematical functions are inbuilt or embedded into this math library. So I can import all those into your program, whatever you write. Okay, and this is for importing the entire module. Suppose a lot of functions are available in the math module. What I can do, if you want to import all functionalities or all functions into your program, so you can directly directly use the import math. Or there is another way, suppose you are not interested to import all functionalities. Suppose you want only certain functionalities to be imported. At that time, you can go with another way using the from statement. Okay, from date and time, import date means, so date time is once again a library. In that you are trying to import date module. Okay, so this is the overall library name. The name of the library is date time. You are trying to import only one of the module called date module. Okay, so if you want a specific class, want to import any specific class, so this is another way how you can import the statements into your program. Then coming to the next session of how to declare a variable and how to initialize them. Okay, so here no need of explicit declaration required in Python, okay, because it is dynamically typed. As soon as based on the input what we give, so automatically the compiler will come to know what type of data it is. For example, so here I have given example name is equals to Harish. So here, as soon as the Harish is assigned, this is an initialization. Okay, I'm assigning Harish to the name here. So by default here, I'm not specifying what type of data it is, because since it is dynamically typed, so Harish, since it is a string, well, automatically the name will be of string type. Okay, and for example, age is equals to 21. Since 21 it is an integer type, by default the age will be of integer type. And here we have declared initialized pi to 3.1415. Since it is a floating value, by default the pi will be of float type. So here no need to explicitly specify what type of variable it is. Okay, that's one of the advantage what we have in Python. So next we can have functions and classes. Whenever your program is insisting to write user-defined functions. So functions are nothing but a piece of code where you are going to write a few lines of code there, and those statements have to be executed repeatedly. At that time we can go for functions, right? So reusable code blocks. We can write a piece of code as a block and you can reuse that. Many times you can call it. Okay, so there the functions you can use. You can define your own functions and you can make use in the program. Similarly, we can have classes and you can write with respect to that. So here's one of the example here. You can see this is a def is a keyword to define a class. So to define a function. So here greet user is the name of the function, and you can have optional parameters if you want, and we have a message here to print hello and what is the name, right? So this is how we are going to write a user defined function. Similarly, we have a class here, example like class student, and you are going to initialize that student name with the name what I am passing as a parameter for the init function, right? This is just we are initializing a student with a default name. So like this we can have our own functions and you can define your own classes in your program.